Dhammapad, verse 3. He abused me, he bet me, he overpowered me, he defeated me, he robbed me. Those who harbor such thoughts, their life doesn't end with hatred. They can never be happy and peaceful. While residing in Jetavana Monastery in Savatthi, the Buddha uttered this verse with reference to Monk Tissa. Tissa, son of the Buddha's maternal aunt, was once staying with Buddha. He had become monk only in his old age. He used to pose himself as a senior monk and was very pleased when visiting monks asked his permission to do some service for him. On the other hand, he failed to perform the duties expected out of the junior monks. Besides, he often quarreled with the younger monks. If anyone reprimanded him on account of his behavior, he used to go complaining to the Buddha, weeping as well as very dissatisfied and upset. Buddha replied that Tissa is the alone to be blamed and asked Tissa to apologize to them. But he never apologized. To this, Tathagat replied, "Monks, this is not the first time he has proved obstinate. He was obstinate also in a previous state of existences." When asked about the previous existence of Tissa, Buddha started telling the following story. Once upon a time, when a certain king reigned at Benares, an ascetic named Devala desired to reside near the city during the 4 months of the rains. He got the place at the potter's hall to spend one night. No sooner had Devala entered the hall and sat down, the another ascetic named Narada, returning from Himalayas, asked the potter for a night's lodging. The potter said to the Narada, who had just arrived, "Venerable, if the ascetic who arrived first approves of it, spend the night at your pleasure." So Narada approached Devala and requested him for the stay in the hall. Devala replied, "The hall is large one, therefore come in and spend the night on one side." Both exchanged friendly greetings. When it was bedtime, Narada noted carefully the place where Devala lay and the position of the door. But when Devala lay down, instead of laying down in the proper place, he lay down directly across the doorway. The result was that when Narada went out at night, he trod on Devala's matted locks. Thereupon Devala cried out and abused Narada for having to have encroached his place of sleep. Narada explained that he did not know that Devala was laying here and asked his pardon. Narada then went out. Devala then thought to himself, "I will not let Narada to tread on me further." So he turned around and lay down, placing his head where his feet had been before. This time when Narada came in, he thought, "The first time I injured the teacher, this time I shall sleep near his feet." Unfortunately, because the Devala changed his position, Narada trod on Devala's neck. Devala became agitated on knowing it is the Narada for the second time disturbing his sleep, and thus cursed Narada that his head may split into 7 pieces at sunrise. In this way, Devala's anger continued to rise, thinking he was insulted and assaulted by Narada. The person who keep thinking that he abused me, he cheated upon me and will also do in future, can never remain calm, nor can he ever conquer his enemy. For example, if a person thinks that a thorn is piercing in his foot, so why not lay that amount of leather on the ground? But where can he get that much leather which can cover the entire ground? Instead, it would be good if he knew that by wearing a small leather shoe, he could explore any corner of the world without piercing any thorn in the foot. In the same way, if the person destroys the resentment and anger that exists inside him, then how can outside enemy harm him? Although it is difficult for the common man, but it is not impossible. For example, if a person suffering from leprosy is thinking that he shall be cured eating just one dose of medicine, then indeed it is not possible. But with continuous medication, one can be healed completely. In the similar way, a person who has been influenced and fueled by innumerable wrong deeds should not expect that one can be enlightened only by listening to the words of religion or trying for some time. Thus, we should maintain a lot of continuity in spiritual practice. Without that, we would not attain nirvana or supreme happiness. If you like our work, kindly like, share and subscribe. May all beings be well and happy.